Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the EPL Fanbase Show, the show that connects you with the happening in the English Premier League. My name is FM Steve, and I'm joined in the show by football pundit SP, also known as Simon Karaoke. SP, how are you?
Very fine, Steve. How are you? Still surviving?
I'm surviving. I'm getting strong. And we have Josiah Oleguna. How are you?
I'm very good.
Yes. So, gentlemen, it's nice to have you in the show. The league, the first time I think in like 12 years that the top six didn't have a win. And to sum it up, it was the only team that could have helped the record not to happen was Arsenal. And again, the same old story, losing to low-ranked Burnley. Let's talk about Arsenal. Because 2 weeks ago, Roy Keane was saying they have what it takes to survive in the top division. But as it is, let's face it. Are we likely to see Arsenal going to the championship? Let me start with Josiah, because looking at the way they play and every team coming to face Arsenal at the moment, they come and they know this is the place to get the points. If we don't get this point, then we are done. So, Josiah, what do you have to say about Arsenal, having watched them last night versus Burnley, and the players' morale is low? What do you have to say about the Arsenal team?
You know, FM Steve. The Arsenal discussion is usually very dear to my heart because I love to see where Arsenal is right now. That one, I dare tell you, it's really fun. But on a serious note, I was shocked by that loss to Burnley. It's not a loss I expected. Honestly speaking, I know Arsenal is doing really badly, but I never thought that you're gonna lose to Burnley. More so because of the fixtures that are following this one. I knew that you're gonna get some 3 points somewhere. But I know you're gonna lose Southampton, Everton, and Chelsea. That one, it's okay. That one I already know there is no point there. But Burnley, knowing that Burnley has only won one game the whole season, and now it has gotten their second one against Arsenal. And to top it off, it was through, when you analyze the game, it was through very stupid mistakes by Arsenal players. You were even lucky not to go 2-0 down because El Neni deserved a red card. And if not a red card, I don't see why you would give him a yellow for committing something inside the box and don't give a penalty. I don't know how that works. Anyway, long story short, it was still a loss. So
the ball was out. The ball wasn't in play, Josiah.
Okay.
And again, it was still 0-0. It was not at that point. It was not 1-0.
Okay, lucky for you guys. But to analyze Arsenal, I don't think, and I can clearly tell from other Arsenal fans who haven't joined, pundits who haven't joined the call, maybe it's avoiding this conversation, which we need to talk about as Manchester United fans. For us, it's quite clear. If you analyze the game, you can tell something is very wrong with the attitude that Arsenal players are showing. It's even surprising now the Saliba situation is being discussed, and rightly so. This was bound to happen. I can only imagine if Mourinho and Spurs were doing as bad, the criticism would have gone to Mourinho on how he has treated Dele Alli. You know, that conversation would have been brought up. So the conversation of Arteta and the treatment to Ozil, Saliba, and the likes will always come up as long as you're not getting results. The treatment of Aguero would have been brought up if Man City were not getting performances. So sometimes You have to understand where this thing is coming from. But my biggest question is, for any other big club, would they, other than Arsenal, would they have kept their manager if they are in position 15? And I can dare tell you that that would not have happened. I've seen Manchester United sack a manager even when we are not that bad. I've seen Chelsea sack a manager even when they are not at 15. I haven't seen Liverpool do it, but I can bet with you it's a game of results, and they would have sacked someone. So is Man City, so is Spurs. We saw them sacking Pochettino even when he had taken them to the finals of the Champions League. So don't tell me that right now Arteta is indispensable. You need to get rid of the guy. It's clear to see. For me as a fan, I want him to stay. As a Manchester United fan, I want him to stay. I want to see the same results going on. But a fair assessment as a football pundit, I think Arteta should have gone yesterday after that loss. But what do I know? I think the owners of Arsenal think otherwise. Some fans still think he needs the whole season. I don't know whether he's going to pick himself up, but most importantly, he can get a short-term run of games. But long-term, do you think Arteta is the right guy for Arsenal? Probably that's the question people need to start asking. Do you think people will be pulled to come and and join Arsenal when Arteta is there with what is happening right now? Because there is clear bias in the way he's treating some of these players. Clear bias in the way he's treating Saliba and Cedric and Guendouzi, what happened. And then there are people who don't perform. There are people like Xhaka who make mistakes here and there, and they're still given other chances. So at the moment, it's not the best of camps to be at, and I will not be shocked. I even wonder how they're going to win against Southampton to start with. Don't even put Everton or even Chelsea. Southampton, I don't know how you're going to climb that. So in a nutshell, Arsenal is really in a bad place, and the only way to do this is to get rid of this manager and get a more experienced manager who can try and get something out of these guys. Yeah.
Steve, your honest assessment. Okay, if you look at this Arsenal, by the time they were sacking Unai Emery last December, they were struggling, and they had the more or less the same points. I think by the time Arteta took the job, they had like 19 points. And if you look at it, right now they are at 13 points. The same thing happened last season. They won the first two fixtures of the league, and then they started struggling. Unai Emery was fired. Arteta came in. He brought in there was some zeal when he came. There was some hope. But now again, they've gone back to factory settings. Now, do you think it's the players, these players are not of quality to play for a team like Arsenal Football Club? Or do you think the shoe is too big for Mikel Arteta? Is there leadership in Arsenal at the moment? What's your assessment? Because who can you point to be the leader at Arsenal as it is? SP.
The situation at Arsenal, for me, is a difficult one to comprehend, because Arsenal have been doing well, and Arteta has shown that he can do well. I just think that he has lost that feel-good factor that he brought when he joined the club, and the decisions that he has taken as a manager during his tenure are now coming back to bite him. If you look at the period when he joined, players like Granit Xhaka were on their way out, but Arteta managed to convince them to stay. And if you ask me, Granit Xhaka should not be an Arsenal player. He shouldn't be playing in the Premier League. He doesn't have the quality, the right quality to do that. when you look at players like, your Saliba, the obvious one for me is Mesut Ozil. You're trying to tell me that Ozil is not good enough to play for Arsenal, yet he's the most creative, yet he continues week in, week out to train with the first. That makes sense for me. So there's a power play at Arsenal that's going on that needs to be fixed. I look at the young boy, indisciplined or not, Matteo Guendouzi. He's doing very well in Germany at the moment. And you look at Guendouzi and you think, wow, what would this boy have done in this midfield? El Neni, for me, Arsenal fans call him the Egyptian pillow after his very good performance against United. But that was the exception to the rule. He's just a shit player, if you ask me. And at the end of the day, I think the chickens are coming home to roost for Arteta. It's difficult to see his tenure remaining tenable for the near future. They have four very bad games coming up. I fear for Arteta. And even if, I woke up tomorrow and heard that he was fired, I wouldn't be shocked. I guess, he still has a bit of goodwill because of the FA Cup and the Community Shield that he has won Arsenal. But other than that, I don't see anything that Arteta will bring. And we have said it quite a couple of times. The caliber of coaches for the top six, some people just don't cut it. Arteta was just a ball boy for Pep Guardiola, let's be honest. I put him in the same league as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. They'll get results somehow, but not they're not your ideal top six coach. So for me, the answer, like Josiah was putting it, is simple. Fire Arteta, but then you fire Arteta and you have a problem, because which manager at this moment will want to come and coach that bunch of players who are not playing for the badge, who are not doing anything, to justify their position in the place? So I think for me, Arsenal is in a difficult situation, and whether we like it or not, the next 3 games will determine whether Arsenal are in a relegation dogfight. So lose 2 of those 3 games, and trust me, you're thick inside that relegation dog scrap.
Okay, you are talking of 3 games. If we look at the next 5 fixtures, they have Southampton, then Everton, Chelsea, Brighton. Remember, Brighton won Arsenal home and away last season, and then they finish it up with Crystal Palace. You saw how Crystal Palace played with Spurs. Now, if you look at those 5 fixtures, which team can Arsenal fans confidently say we are going to win this fixture? None of the 5.
I think, Steve, for me, I think it starts with Southampton, and they have to win the Southampton game. For me, that Southampton game is a must win.
Okay, if you are Mikel Arteta, what will you do different and expect results? Because what will you do different if you are
I think Steve, for me, Arsenal, some decisions have been taken for Arsenal which are interesting. Number one, Bellerin can't play because he's suspended. Bellerin has been a weak link in that team for a long time. Cedric has been playing very well on Thursday night. So for me, Cedric comes in. If I was Arteta at the moment, I would go back to a back 3, back 5. Play Cedric, get David Luiz back in, then Holding and Tierney, and play Saka as wing back. And then up front, I would do what Arteta has feared to do, and that is bench Willian, because as much as Willian is trying to put in effort, you can see that he's a spent force. So I think you know, in the midfield as well, Xhaka will not be playing. So it's time for, you know, Ceballos to step up. It's time for maybe one of the younger boys, Smith Rowe, or someone else to just step in. So for me against Southampton, I'd revert back to a back five, play with one holding midfielder, and then, you know, unleash the firepower. Go all out. I'm not sure whether Nicolas Pepe is back, but he should be back. So for me, Nicolas Pepe should go straight in. You know, for a front three of Pepe, Lacazette, and Aubameyang. You know, revert Aubameyang back to the left side, play Laka in the middle, and play Pepe on the right. So for me, I think that's the lineup I'd use, especially because of how good Southampton are playing. So I think you win your games from the back. So that's why I'm really insisting on a back five, because if anything has shown me anything this season, that Arteta really needs to just use that back five, and just for, because really no one is stepping up in that Arsenal defense. So back five for me, and then a front three.